Hello and welcome back to Higher Ground. Actually, this is like part two. It isn't like, it is part two of the show we just did. And again, would like to introduce Kim, Jennifer, Buck, and here we are. What are we going to do this time? What's looking good?
Well, it was delightful to be here talking with you about presencing and having Kim give us the intro and the background with all of her wisdom. And so we were thinking of sharing what it is, you know, exactly how do we do this, what does it look like, and giving a demonstration.
So don't we need a volunteer for that?
Yeah.
Is that what this chair is?
So yes, you're in the hot seat.
Okay.
And so yeah, we can have a mini session if you're up for it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I've had the good fortune of doing this with you before, so
yeah, we got to warm up a little bit.
There you yes, warm up.
Yeah.
Yep. So turbo.
Yeah.
What are we going into?
Yeah. So let's go into this, a little turbo mode.
Okay.
And so what I usually do is to come into the body and bring awareness into the body a little bit. So often, you know, we spend our days in our minds and we're moving forward and our eyes are forward and we're very much about, you know, action and doing and producing. And so in this process, we get to kind of relax and we get to ask the mind to be part of what we're doing. But it's really part of the fabric. It's not the focus. And the mind has a job, which is to allow and take notice and witness. And it's kind of the heart mind, so it's a loving witnessing. And not so much about doing or solving or past or future. It's very much in the present moment.
The only
And
place
so,
to be.
yeah, and so, you know, and we can feel this even as, you know, we're thinking about it and feeling into it, feeling the body and noticing, you know, the feet are touching the floor, the spine is connected to the chair, the weight of the body in the chair, and feeling that connection, even a rooting that happens as we're feeling into the earth and opening to all of the senses, the emotion, feeling, the visual perception, the sound, even taste and smell, and noticing the air on your skin, and the feeling again of the weight. And so coming into allowing all of these senses to awaken.
All at the same time.
All at the same time, which is, it's a lot actually to be with.
Yes.
Even, you know, in this moment as we're talking. So with that, you know, kind of a little easing into it, then I can start a kind of an inquiry process and checking in with you to see, is there anything going on with you? So this could be, you know, it could be anything. It could be something from childhood. It could be something that has been niggling. It could be an issue or a problem. Or it could be just a noticing of a sensation. You know, maybe, oh, there's flow in this part of my body and there's heaviness in this other part. So we don't always presence or be present with a problem. It can also be an experience of any kind.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's checking in to see, well, what is happening, what's showing up and calling for attention in this moment and this loving witness.
Absolutely. Bring it out onto the stage, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
within here.
within
Yeah.
you. Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so amazing is so much is going on in here that we
Yes.
don't pay attention to until we
Yeah.
do it, be deliberate. And
Yeah.
wow. Well, I'm
Yeah.
feeling grounded in this chair and on
Yeah.
the floor.
And what is that? What is that grounded feeling? And where do you feel that?
Do you mind if I close my eyes? 'Cause,
Please.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where's the grounding? Well, really feeling it right now on the soles of my feet and my back, against the back of the chair, like you said, the spine, and certainly my bottom on the seat. Feeling my hands together, but I think I'm going to open those.
Beautiful. Yeah. And breathing into that grounding, what else do you notice about it? Is there a texture or a substance, some quality to it?
Not getting that just yet, but it's almost like right in the center of maybe like my center, right here. It's a little dark at the moment, and
Yeah.
noticing that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get to stay with it, whatever it is. And really getting close to it.
Well, you mentioned something earlier, and as soon as you said that, it's almost like where I'd like to go right now is the word gratitude, and not just the word, but to start there and explore that, because that's what I'm really feeling right now. We did that a presencing about a month ago, perhaps a little more, and it was like that was the start or the beginning of what's evolved to this point right here. And what it really feels like is it's feeling a lot of gratitude.
What's the energy of gratitude? So is there a movement? Is there a color? Is there a shape?
It's more of a feeling right at the moment. Got to get a couple of these other senses to wake up. And
Yeah, and really nice breath in there. So it's an allowing. And anytime we notice that we're kind of efforting, it's that coming back down, and landing in and back to allow what's happening in that space and stillness.
feeling very relaxed, that's for sure. Some of the other channels just aren't connecting, or the senses. But seeing more brightness around that third eye.
Yeah, and we get to feel into that brightness. And it's really an invitation. So there's nothing to do about it. It's like, can we be with that brightness even more? And just allowing it.
Well, I call for that many times each day, of the white light and the brightness and healing, protecting. Right now it's allowing me to feel just really relaxed, so comfortable.
And where in the body are you feeling that? Is it throughout the whole body? And it could even be outside and beyond the body, with the body.
Really toes to head through the body. And it looks like it had a halo going there, but they sent it someplace else for the out of the body part.
Yeah.
But this is feeling good right here.
Yeah. And what else do you notice?
Actually feeling the light on my skin, especially on my face. And I don't mean the light of the instruments in the studio. It's that white light, kind of tingling. And feeling that in the palms of my hands, my fingers. It's a warmth without, not the sun kind of warmth, but allowing the white light to surround me.
Yeah. And does it come in at all to the skin? Is it just touching it or barely touching, or does it actually permeate some?
Feeling that through the exposed parts, let's say again my hands and my face. But also feeling kind of like an inner glow.
And so these places of where you're sensing this glow, is this throughout the body? Are there some places it's more, or how is that?
And I was just thinking about that, was to kind of let my mind rest in its, I feel it in the heart chakra.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get, in a way, my brain to settle down and just feel.
And the brain gets to be here too. So if it has some energy in it, we can just welcome that. It's like, hello, brain. Yeah, you get to be on the journey. Yeah.
That's good because it's not wanting to
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's part of it. And this is one of the lovely things, is that there can be more than one thing happening at once, right? There might be this light and experience and and then the brain, and that could be a movement in itself.
Absolutely.
And these two may interact somehow. They may have a conversation, or they might bump up almost to each other. Or how do they interact if there are two things here?
A little bit of cooperation, huh? Within. The gratitude is also feeling very blessed with what has been taking place and really getting a chance to be with it and witness it right this very moment, how it's been manifesting. Feeling some tears of again, joy and being grateful that able to be in touch with that.
Yeah.
And I thank you for helping me along the path, both of you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Does this feel like a good place to pause? Yeah. And as we kind of shift a little bit, let's stay with it too at the same time. So there's this shifting into the next stage here, whatever it is, and really honoring these two places that showed up. So the mind, which may be, active and doing its thing, and then there's this gratitude and this glow. And they both get to be here, even as we open our eyes and come into the next thing, and it's like this inclusion of everything. Yeah, and often when we open our eyes, we kind of jump out and leave ourselves. And so this can be a gradual opening of the eyes so that they're just sort of open halfway, and maybe moving a little bit with the body to kind of stretch in a deep breath and to ease into whatever comes next.
I don't know, it's pretty comfortable.
Right? It's like, yeah, I love to trick myself and say, oh, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes, and then suddenly it's been an hour because I love it too much. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and can you feel it still as you're opening your eyes that there's still this piece is happening, right? Yeah.
I'm going to be awake for a while.
Yeah, okay.
Can I help you with your book?
That's kind of what happens.
Proofreading and
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Brilliant. Your willingness is amazing. Thank you.
It's, you've allowed me to be there to open that. And that's what is, again, so grateful.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you for allowing your beauty to shine.
Kind of hard
to share yourself, right?
Thank you. Well, let's.
And yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim.
Wow. Yeah, it's felt, well, Yeah.
It's quite a process.
It is. It is.
It's such a honor for me to get to be part of it and to witness anyone who's willing to do this.
Yes.
Because it takes a courage and a vulnerability, and there's a lot of training that we get to not do this, to not open to what's here in all the different parts of ourselves, right?
Unfortunately, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of good survival skill training to compartmentalize and and sometimes that's needed, and yet then that becomes who we think we are, and it's not.
Fortunately, right? Like you said, developing those defense mechanisms of,
To learn.
not quite ready for being that open. But
Yeah, how to learn not to be there.
Yeah. And we're
But
blessed.
in the affirmations, that's what I've been finding of, allow me to stay open. That's what's been just a great journey in itself, and discovery, and fighting it sometimes, and no, just back off and let it happen. Wow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a discipline, huh?
And that's the wonderful part of what feels like the inner growth, I suppose, and it's taking over all of my being. So I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Thank you for being and glowing. Yeah.
I think I mentioned that the other day, is the energy is going to be just, if we can kind of measure this
Right.
from out
It's
there.
when we talk about presencing, what is presence?
Yeah.
So there, we feel presence in many ways, right?
And that's a tough one too, isn't it? Without letting all this other stuff that's running through the brain usually is kind of,
Yeah, it's
give me a break here.
right. And it can be, we have all these different senses. Let's say we're in a room with our eyes closed, and we can feel that somebody is coming, or somebody's in the other room. How do we know this? Since we're not hearing them, we're not seeing them, but we just feel
it,
that.
yes.
So these are different perceptual abilities that we all have, but sometimes they're dormant, and we get to find them again.
And to trust that, right? That I can go there.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part of the journey. It seems just allow it to be.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I want to give up this chair.
Yeah. That's right. We're going to be switching, aren't we?
I think we are.
Okay.
Welcome back, and I'm still kind of, I'm not sure I'm in the body here, but we have Jennifer in the hot seat, so to speak, and it's heat of a different kind, isn't it? So I'd like to have Kim and Jennifer take over from here.
Okay.
All yours.
Oh my gosh, thank you to that. Just a beautiful example of what it is to be present and sense. So presencing is an ancient word. It's first recorded, as far as I can find, in the 14th century, right? And it's been around a long time. My teachers use that word. There are systems now that call themselves that. But what presencing is being present with, which engages the mindfulness, and sensing, so our sensorial perception, which is our 5 senses, or the organs of perception, which is also an ancient terminology going back thousands of years. organs of perception. So what's interesting about this work, the organs of perception, our regular sense organs as a human, we see externally, we listen externally, we speak to other, right? We touch, right? And sense and taste. But the organs of perception are the organs of the soul. And so it's perceiving through essence. And so then we might touch with our heart or listen through heart. We might sense and see together. So sight, people say, well, I don't see. And they're thinking they need to see auras outside. Well, actually, if they're sensing something, and then I ask, okay, what are you sensing? What's the shape, size, texture? Now what's the color? Oh, I don't see color. But then I say, sense the color, and then they'll describe the color, right? And so that's what the organs of perception are, right? So this is our natural state of being. We are multisensory, right? And we're also bioluminescent beings. So the biology and the luminescence of our essence together is what's referred to bioluminescence. So just like in the deep dark of the ocean, the darker it is, fear not the dark or the black, because it brings us close into the radiance, because the black light is all light that is so brilliant. And most people fear the dark light. But when you opened, when Jennifer asked the first opening, you said it was dark in here. And then where did you end up? The light. First the light shining from inside out, and then you could feel the light shining in on you as well. So that was sensorial seeing, right? So it's just magic, but it's real magic. It's of the imaginal realm, which is different than imagination. I'm not making it up. Imaginal is what an artist does, right? It's how artwork comes out of the unseen realm, right? And that's how this work is too. It's from the unknown and the unseen. And when we're willing, how Jennifer, you so beautifully guided Buck through that process of when the mind was competing with the heart, and you welcomed the mind in, and then the luminescence expanded, right? And so the separation and inclusion, so the including it all opens us up to this multi-sensory state of being.
Incredible.
And this is natural to all of us. And so the learning is the learning to let go of, it's like unschooling what we learned. In other words, the learned ignorance that kept us from our wholeness. And at the time it kept us safe, but we're no longer living that time, but the mechanism continues as though we're still living that. And so these presencing sessions are simply unlearning and returning to our wholeness.
Nicely put. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Jennifer, do you want to play?
Yeah.
So we're just taking turns here.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Great.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to bring to the table?
Well, as you were talking, I was kind of feeling into my my shoulder, and a familiar sensation there that connects in the head and the jaw and neck. So this comes up in meditation, where it feels there, there's jaw clenching, which is a habit, and then it's almost feels a little bit. This happens to me a lot, where direction changes when I'm coming in to awareness, and so it's almost like the jaw clenching is vertical, here and up in the head, and so I was just kind of feeling into that as you were talking, just noticing, oh, it's here again. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just rest into the allowing of this. So when you were talking about it, the hands were going up and down, but now actually resting in with it. What is the direction now?
Yeah. So there's a horizontal plane, I guess, here on the shoulder.
So is there a momentum? Yeah. So the head is turning toward.
Yeah, it really it's almost like there's a energetic pull, and it just keeps wanting to go over.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the body's innate intelligence. So we want, our body is designed to correct itself. That's inborn in all of us. So just trusting this movement. And you feel the fulcrum here, or the point, the apex.
Yeah, there's that place at the top of the neck.
By the top of where the skull and the neck meet.
Yeah.
Brainstem. Right. Wow, beautiful. As you're being present, I'll just talk in that this is the trusting the body is needing to self-correct here. So we're all getting to witness first the rotation and then the pulling back into the brainstem. But if we look at Jennifer, there's a back to it, and the brainstem is really pulling. It's meeting something there. So let it come all the way into the meeting, and then watch what happens. And some people witnessing may actually be feeling or sensing the rotation going on, right? So there's a coiling. Are you sensing that?
Well, I have, there's an image of an eye, like a seeing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you want to share what you're seeing?
It's the eye.
Okay.
I'm seeing the eye, the actual,
Yeah, like an eye.
It's a profile of the eye from the side.
Beautiful.
Yeah, as if it's looking that way.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And this feels so restful over here. like it's just being held or cradled, and I feel a stretch on this other side on my neck, and it's like just that that edge of that this is wanting to fall on the left, and that this is keeping it, from falling on the right, and just a stretch there.
So it's almost like a recoiling. Maybe asking what is asking to be shown here. What is there to see that's not yet seeing? That's not yet seen?
They're elements, water and fire. It's not so much the fire as the heat and the dry from the fire.
Is there an emotion that goes with that? Or a sensation?
It feels very vital, I would say.
Okay.
The dryness is sort of uncomfortable. I can feel it here. That, and it could be some dehydration. A sense of that with tension here.
And what's happening?
Oh yeah, that something about the clenching is the clenching not allowing the moisture to seep into what's dry. Almost like, bones that are dry and not allowing moisture. But as I'm saying it, it's changing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the pull, there's less of a pull. Yeah, and I'm feeling my right hip now. It's all my attention is coming there. Yeah. So now there's this sense of more of the whole body being together, where before it was sort of segmented.
And the hip right now? What's happening?
it feels like it's getting informed by everything that is happening up higher. And there are some colors, reddish purple coloring with that.
And as these essences open, these qualities open, the red and the purple, it's here.
Yeah, it feels like that there's a vibrancy that's coming from that hip area with the purple and the red, and it's offering itself to the rest of me or the body. Yeah. Yeah. Really feels like a gift coming through. And yeah, just allowing it to come all the way through, and then it's might be able to come into the head. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, so how far up does it come? Where's the first, where does it get arrested or deviated?
It feels like that sort of it's sort of coming up to here, and then there's this sort of more fiery part here that it's almost like when magnets are opposing and you can't quite.
Right. So let's be with that. Yeah. So there's a repelling energy, right? Mm-hmm. Where the magnets are reversed. So just welcoming that. Okay, what's moving there? Do you sense that? It's so subtle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a little piece over here.
Right. Just letting that oscillate. Mm-hmm. Okay. Kind of a recalibration.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
What did you recognize here?
It's really soft, that like when you're mixing different kinds of liquids together and they just kind of do their thing, and it's like a wash. Yeah.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And the sense of being that's here as you be with this?
Well, it sounds funny, but it's I feel sort of like a paper version of myself. So it's it's flattened, but it's all one. So that feels really helpful somehow.
So a cohesion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet paper thin so that's delicate.
Yeah, I mean, then the two-dimensional is kind of funny. This, it's fine. Yeah.
And that's the beauty. These are little steps at a time, tastes at a time, and then really savoring the enoughness. Right? That there's no judgment. We get to, if it's a paper self, right? Like the mind doesn't get it, but when you're actually in touch with it, there's a potency here.
Yeah.
Something very profound and not so much of words.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to mean anything.
But it's meaningful.
Right. Yeah.
It's full of meaning, but in a different way than we often think of as meaning. Because this cohesion, I mean, that would be so many bodywork sessions.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so much I would want to explore with you around this. But I think we're running out of time. And so right now, being with the richness of the enoughness and just steeping here, and I thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And
gosh, this is so great.
And just don't even come out of it right now because there's still a lot of movement. She's still in process. Yeah.
I was thinking I'm going to put a lot of chiropractors out of business.
Oh. There's a need for that too.
Yes.
But these go back to just really, we're working with essence and the body, right, and the mind. So it's a different work. Yeah. And so
True.
it's getting to savor the potency of this essence.
Yeah.
So it went from the tissue pulling to this malleable substance then that brought this cohesion. And now to look at Jennifer, there's just this
The alignment.
core,
Yes.
the alignment
Yeah.
shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Exactly.
It just happened.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
indeed.
So,
Great.
thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes so much courage to expose oneself in this way to another or to others, and because it's your authentic self. And this often got, that's so much of what our core wounding is about. Not being seen, the preciousness not valued. And yet here's this preciousness, your preciousness, right?
Absolutely.
It's pure. And that's love, right? That's the nature of being. We are by design love. Essence means love. That's what essence means.
Yeah.
Essence means being. Being means essence. Essence means love.
Oh my feels like this unconditional acceptance, belonging, everything belongs.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you for exuding this, because then each person that touches into the purity of their being, the trueness of their nature, it's a transmission. I mean, wow.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh, thank you both for being so open and so giving. My goodness, this is wonderful, and the willingness, like you said.
Yeah, gratitude all around, and to you and TCTV and all the volunteers, and this whole structure is really incredible.
Isn't it though?
Yeah,
That's for
to
sure.
be able to share with the community.
A whole program
Yeah.
of generosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just witnessed it. Well, again, thank you, and we'll be back, right?
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so the terrain of essence.
Yep. You can visit it, terrainofessence.com or teachings. Or
Yeah, terrainofessenceteachings.com or kimlincoln.com.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tune in.
Yeah.
Sure.
great.
Right. Thank
Well,
you.
again, thank you, and would like to close for this evening, but see you again.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Buck.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
We
beautiful.
finally got a chance.